We have with us over the phone Mr. Amir Nabil, the managing editor of MENA, the Middle East news agency. Mr. Amir, thank you so much for talking to us and reading with us the expats voting. Well, in this phase, actually, their voice is very important. It counts and it makes a difference through their sharing and their decisive voice in the future of the country. Sir.
Hi. First of all, it's as we can see, all the Egyptians are participating outside. But now, I think it's better than the first round. It is for the runoff outside on all our embassies outside Egypt. Now, I think the Egyptians try to say that we are participating and we are keen to have a new parliament and a new image about the Egyptians and participations from all the expats participating in in making their future, political future.
Mm-hmm. What measures should be undertaken from your perspective in order to make this mission of the voting of the expats quite easier? You know, they mentioned earlier that the issue of the pace itself over there, where they have to take many kilometers to reach the embassies or reach the nearby premises where they can vote.
I think all the Egyptian embassies outside trying to make it easy for them, for all the Egyptian citizens outside, to make it easy to come. And I think it is costly for them, but it is important step. They are a lot of them trying to participate, especially today is Monday, and it is a working day in some countries, and not a working day, I think, in some other countries. So they are trying, even they are bearing some cost or so. It is the future of Egypt, and they are trying to participate in it. And they are trying to put their views and their issues. They are interested about some issues, trying to tell these issues during the parliament sessions and so.
Right. The pressing issues, as you see, that should be taken into consideration by the upcoming parliament as pressing files to be discussed for Egyptian expats.
Yes, it is an important issue, but I think from
what sort of files, Mr. Amir? What sort of pressing files that we need to put on the table that would serve the needs of Egyptian expats?
Your question again, please?
Yeah, what sort of files should be considered if we're talking about Egyptian expats? What sort of priority files that should be addressed by the upcoming parliament regarding the challenges that expats meet?
I think there's some important issues for the expats. They needed to be discussed during the coming parliament, like their rights to participate in some discussions about future projects. They are making their transferring money or so, and they want to participate in any discussions about how to make use of this money transferred to Egypt. They are trying to have their voice here under the parliament at the social issues and the economic issues. Future issues about how to deal with the new generations of the expats from the children, how they know the learning or education issues for their generation, how to link them with the homeland and so on. There's a lot of issues. I think we can discuss it in the parliament.
Right. And what could further help and foster this sense of belonging to the homeland? You know, after the two revolutions, definitely this sense of belonging has become intense. But what could we do more? I mean, sharing, of course, and the project of the new Suez Canal, we found also that they are definitely very keen to share. And also sharing in further investment projects. What could be some thoughts out of the box for their sharing and participation in the beat of the homeland?
I think we have a lot of Egyptians living outside their homeland, and they are thinking about new projects, and mostly they are scientists and doctors and high-profile. They have high-profile education outside. Some of them are professors in some universities and so on. So they have already a lot of out-of-box ideas. They can participate it and share it with the Egyptian counterparts or so. Some of them are trying to solve some problems, some scientific problems for our soil, scientific problem about our agriculture or irrigation systems, and so on. So if we can make some roundtables every month, some kind of sessions, discussions with them, it will be very effective to make use of those scientists living outside Egypt.
Right. The expats themselves, you know, are also ambassadors for the country, for the homeland. So how can we utilize this opportunity and gear them for a sense of enthusiasm of reflecting the true image of New Egypt abroad?
Yes, so some of these scientists are coming and participating in some projects, I think so, but some of them they have some feeling like they are upset about they are not heard, their voice are not heard, only welcoming them.
How can we work on making this voice heard and a sense of connection and a sense of communication with expats and their problems and their challenges throughout the year?
During the parliament, in the parliament sessions and discussions, if they have some seats in this parliament, it is very effective for them to do so. And at the same time, during the work of the new or the ministry of the Egyptian experts, I think they have to see some effective steps to make their voice heard, and some projects they can participate in and can make results about this discussion, not only discussion. So they are waiting for all of these steps to be effective in the future.
Right, definitely, and their sharing and their sense of participation is always welcomed and is always effective. Mr. Amir Nabil, Managing Editor of MENA, thank you so much for talking to Nile TV and highlighting more about the sharing of Egyptian expats in the runoff of the first phase of the parliamentary elections. Our coverage continues, ladies and gentlemen, as we track Egyptian expats beginning the voting that has earlier started in the runoff of the first phase of the parliamentary elections. Elections are held in 139 embassies and consulates around the world, and this two-day runoff had already started at 9 a.m. in the morning. It closes at 9 p.m. according to the local time of every country. And tomorrow, definitely Tuesday, Egyptians inside the country are voting in the runoff of the first phase. So the first phase of the elections, as we know, is held across 14 governorates, including Giza, Fayoum, Beni Suef, Minya, Asyut, Suhag, Luxor, Aswan, New Valley, Red Sea, Behaira, Alexandria, and Marsa Matruh. And we have with us Ambassador Adil Adawi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for talking to us, and your assessment of the first phase of the parliamentary elections and definitely the sharing of Egyptian expats in the runoff of the parliamentary elections. How is it making a difference? Definitely their voice counts and their sharing is very important. Mr. Ambassador.
Yes. I think, the government already prepared everything in the right way. Everything is available and everything for anyone. I think you can go to give your vote without any problems and safely, and everything is quite clear. The problem is that I think candidates didn't do enough propaganda for their campaign. People who are giving their vote, they don't know their candidates. This is very strange. I think because we have our parties, they are just new parties, and they need time to organize themselves. Otherwise, I don't know, because people, they don't go on like before. For instance, we noticed that
Ambassador Adel, well, how far do you think, what are the challenges or the issues for Egyptian expats that needs to be addressed by the upcoming parliament, and how far will the issue of quota, the presence of the quota for Egyptian expats in the upcoming parliament make a difference?
For the first time now, they have chance to be part in the parliamentary election. That was never done before. And the government here, they are trying to let all people interested to share in the election, despite the problem of the parties, because still the parties, they are new ones and nobody knows about the parties, so many parties. And that's why, the government trying very hard to help. But as I said, as I told you before, this is a major problem, and I think parties should do a lot of effort. This is not the effort of government to let people be caring about it. For instance, during the president election, we noticed that so many people shared in the election. During the constitution, we found that so many people tried to vote and give their ideas. But for instance, in my place, I don't know the candidates. We are following everything, and we are educated, and we have all the meanings to know what is going on. But really, we don't know. This is a problem,
the parties should have exerted more efforts for the people to know the candidates running for the voting.
Yes, it's a major problem.
Mr. Ambassador Adel Al-Adawi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for talking to Nile TV. So more about the parliamentary elections. Expats are voting today in the runoff of the first phase of the parliamentary elections. Definitely we're expecting the elections runoff vote to take place also tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. The voting will not be held in Libya, Syria, Yemen and the Central African Republic due to the security situation of those countries. We've been talking to more than one reporter across the different countries where Egyptian expats are actually voting. The voting started 9 a.m. in the morning and it closes at 9 p.m. according to the local time of every country. We've talked to Ambassador Badr Abdelati, Egypt's ambassador to Berlin, and talked also to Mr. Malek Shnouda, who is the head of the British-Egyptian Business Chamber, talking to us more about the beat of the elections in Britain. We talked also to our reporter in Paris, but still we are following up the beat of the elections, Egyptian expats voting and Egyptians inside Egypt starting voting Tuesday in the runoff of the first phase of the parliamentary elections. Stay with us. We're tracking the beat of the elections abroad and also tomorrow locally here on Nile TV, bringing you more updates. The World Today coming up in a very short while, underlining more news in the headlines. So stay tuned to Nile TV.